I've moved away from home after undergrad and have just been kind of everywhere. Yeah. So for me, community has not looked like the people I see every day. Like that just has never been the way I've been able to operate. I don't have this anchored set that's like, And
now we're gonna steep into the conversation. Get it? You got it. We're here. Okay. Steeping. But for me, I really want to just talk around like our journey in terms of like just being friends with each other, but also like you embracing newness in your life. Like I feel like you have been changing ever so rapidly, and like taking the time to actually keep up and just be like, all right, bitch, let me sit down for a second. And let me catch my bearings, because life just was moving. The bitch is tired. Okay, I bet. And so I'm just going to take it back now. I think this is 6 years?
That sounds, yeah.
6? No.
2018?
6 years. Yeah. I was telling them before we got here, I was like, oh, no, it's a funny story on how Sterling and I met. I was like, Sterling was literally my first friend when I got to Philly, before I moved to Philly, actually. And so it was like a dreary night, March evening at Uncle Bobby's. We were at a Black men's mental health group.
The men's group.
Yes, a time. And we're sitting there, and it's me and my friend Tyler came up, and we were just like, we're just like looking for spaces for other Black men. Reading wasn't giving that for us, so we were just like, let's go to a space. I really always enjoyed Uncle Bobby's, so like even anytime I came to Philly, I would just come up and I'm gonna sit in a cafe as long as I can. I don't care. But we ended up going that night, and I remember sitting there, and one of the old heads were saying some wild problematic shit.
It happens.
You know, it happens in some of these groups. You feel me? But I remember sitting there. I'm like, cross my arms. I look over. I said, and Sterling said, and I was like, okay, so we see each other. And so he's sitting there rapping, and it turns into something what was like probably homophobic light.
It's always like
something problematic,
misogynistic, homophobic.
Yeah, it was something in that
realm. That's just not
very
right.
Much so. And I was just like, yeah, something. Like, did you think about it from this perspective? Da 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 da. And Sterling's just like, and like one thing you can learn about Sterling, you gotta see the eyes before you see it come, like before he says it or verbalizes it. And Sterling's much more diplomatic than I am. I'm be the one to be like, nah, bitch, what the fuck did you just say?
Well, cause see, this was like the I'd come before this,
yeah.
So this was maybe like the second or third of those meetings I had popped into, and some of those dudes were like frequent flyers there who were kind of notorious now for like, oh, they're gonna say something a little to the left, and we got to try to figure this conversation out.
Yeah.
We being me, because I'm scanning around and I'm like, oh, none of y'all are. One of these things is not like the other. It's like, okay, I'm gonna be landing this plane on my own. But no, I feel like, you know, the kindredness of like, wait, no, that's not it. We see something different here. Okay. And then like, how do we support one another to like push points and try to still be in community, right? Because this is also not about like, you niggas are wrong. Like,
right. Like we got
a story. Like,
conflict must exist in the community.
Yeah. How do we shift and say like, here are some perspectives to consider now, and that's actually just false. Maybe I can bring some new information to you because you've been operating under something that just isn't it. So.
Yeah. And so I remember, because it was like right after that meeting, and we're on the way out, and I'm just like, did you? Yeah. Okay. And then from there, somehow it was, did we start talking about each other's signs?
Yeah, well, you did, obviously.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, yeah. No, it was me. It's me, not we. It was me.
Yeah, we started talking about science together. No, you.
I said, you definitely a Virgo. Yeah. I said, I see that's fine, maybe. And then from there, I said, well, when's your birthday? It said, September 21st. I said, September 21st? No way. I was like, I'm September 21st. And so we became birthday twin immediately. And then from there, I was like, oh my God, wait, you're left-handed? I said, oh my God, I'm left-handed. So
Southpaws get shit done.
And we do every single time.
It's different. I mean, since childhood, learning how to adjust and maneuver when the desk wasn't.
What it's like to go through a white supremacist world?
It is. I mean,
it is terrible. Yeah, all you little right-handed bitches out here. Yeah, all y'all niggas get on my nerves.
Sit to the left of anybody and want to like eat.
Oh. because you manifest greatness. Okay, y'all just don't see Isaiah on the side.
There.
He's on the
there.
next episode.
It's in everyone.
Okay.
The greatness is there. You just have to
you.
choose to.
It's when they try to beat it out of you. You feel me? Yeah, truly, honestly, I'm sitting there working at McDonald's when everything's made for like right-handed people. I was totally over it because like they're like, Marquise, hurry up on the fries. I'm like, nah, like everybody else can do their fries like this. I gotta go like this and then pick it up and do the dumb shit.
Oh, the
little flick of the wrist. So that's how they try to get me.
Because everything is like an extra 3 steps when you have to switch from right to left. Left to right is not as hard. Like, you're welcome, first of all.
Okay.
But like the other way around, I feel like I've got to just like
do everything.
And
dog,
like,
even when I went to basketball camp, they said you have to do everything with your right hand. You have to brush your teeth, you have to eat, you have to dribble the basketball with your right hand. I said, why do people do this? But they were like, yeah, if you're left-handed, they're gonna be able to know when you're gonna drive and which way you're gonna drive every time. So did it benefit me to like learn how to use my right hand because I won my tournament using a right-handed layup? Yes, I did. But that's a long lifetime ago. No more basketball for me. Anyways, I think like I remember that night because that was one of the first indications of like one, I was like, oh, I definitely see part of myself here in Philly. But you also made such an inviting space. And I think it's just indicative of who you are because of also how you grew up and how you also view community as well. And so for you to be like the first personal relationship I was able to make in Philly, it was just like you were so knowledgeable. You were willing to talk with me and guide me. And even like starting out in my early career of education, I was like I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing.
None of us do.
Nobody does. But you were so like gentle when you invited me into the space, and you were just like, oh, well, if you also do podcasting, you need to meet Eric. And when you meet Eric, you got to do this and da 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 da. And like you were so instrumental in terms of like a very easy matriculation because coming from Reading to Philly, I'm just like, all right, I'm meeting a whole new set of people. I got to find a community quick. I got to do this. And you were so willing to like genuinely invite us into your world, myself and Tyler, but also just being able to like create that bond. Where did your sense of like building community come from and like sharing that with like my audience too?
Well, I guess fundamentally it goes back to like childhood, right? Like
it starts there.
Yeah, I mean, so my grandma is everybody's grandma. In my family, she's Aunt Bobby. And so all of my cousins across maybe like 3 generations were either like sent to her house as a child, sent their kid to her house when they needed a babysitter, sent their kid's kid when they couldn't babysit for their kid, like all kinds of stuff like that. And for me, what it just showed was like, oh, there was something that happens when people feel like they can find home in your space, you know, and I can see people just show up and relax differently there. Same thing with my mom. Like, I mean, you know at this point, if I bring
Jackie
home
over here,
anybody, it'd be like, Mom, this person is important to me. Welcome, my child.
He's like, I got a bonus son.
Like, literally that day, she's drawing up adoption papers and is trying to show you like where the linens are. So if you ever need anything, you can just help yourself while simultaneously trying to like cook you a meal.
It's amazing. The apple don't fall too far from the tree.
Okay,
that's
like, you know,
every time I go to Sterling's house.
I'm like, well, let me just put something together for you right quick.
Do you need something? Sterling, sit down.
But it is the Jackie way.
It's the only way.
But I think it's just for me, it's always been a beautiful piece that I've recognized has been such a help for other people. You know, I've witnessed when, you know, someone saw my mom and saw their own mother figure or had the opportunity to sit down with somebody like a mom and be able to just like talk that out and just had space to do and be what they needed. And the ability to offer that has always, I think, filled me a little bit. It's also just been like really, really cool to experience, right? Like just the beauty of like, yo, people feel great and we can share in that. Like that is just so special to me. And it's been the saving grace for me in so many ways because I've moved away from home after undergrad and have just been kind of everywhere. So for me, community has not looked like the people I see every day. Like that just has never been the way I've been able to operate. I don't have this anchored set that's like, weekly drinks or, ooh, it's time for brunch. We're going to catch up and do the thing.
Sex in the City over here.
It is not. It is, we're going to try again this year and see if we can land something that makes sense.
Let's get this on the calendar, y'all.
Like literally, it is that kind of work. But what I have found in that is I'm so blessed to have such rich connections with people where like time doesn't have to matter, space doesn't have to matter. It's what we choose to make it. And so when people pull up at my place and we spend the next 3 hours just catching up like it was literally 5 minutes ago I saw you, I'm like, yeah, because we're building home. So.
Honestly and truly, like you go into space and you know something's smelling good because when they go out Sterling, he's gonna cook the house down every single time. And it's also like the amount the people that you bring into your space. I'm like, who are you in Sterling's life now? Like being able to play that game whenever like there's a big time to celebrate you properly is like, so how do you know Sterling? So what era are you from?
Because there are eras. There are people who have seen me. Thank you. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for holding me. Never letting go because I gave you opportunities. I know. But no, my people are the best. So.
Nah, truly and honestly, like, and it's the fact that like everybody feels it, right? Like going to your space and it's probably going to be Rick and Morty on or maybe West Wing or something. Just oh, my bad. You're super loud. Like,
I run my whole ticket.
My bad.
No, but that's true.
But the way that everybody speaks of you, when I tell you, Sterling, the amount of people that I just get to talk to who just speak so much life into you, and it's just like, this man is brilliant. This man is the kindest, most selfless person I've ever met in my life. Like, I think you give so much to so many people all the time, right? And that's just like indicative of who you are. It is the Jackie way. But something I also think about when I see you too is when did you learn, or are you still in the process of learning how to like pour into yourself and know that that's okay? Like that's something I think I see a lot of, like the newness that is coming into you. I think in this season is just like, but what do you want? So how has that shift kind of been too, of like still balancing like the core of who you are as a person, but knowing like it's okay to bet on yourself?
Yeah, I feel very much in my chrysalis era.
Yeah.
Like there was a period very recently that I was just done from burnout. Like on every level, my health was failing. I was having little quick minty bees every morning, quick little breakdown, and then you cry it out,
Not
and then you like just a couple quick ones, like literally like 3 minutes of chaos, and then something clicks in your head that's like, your livelihood depends on you getting on this Zoom in 35 seconds. So how you gonna act? And then you're just like, whoosh. Hey, good morning. Check-in activity. Let's go. Like, don't act like you haven't been there. Okay, because y'all not gonna fake like I'm the one out here losing it, and then like pressing camera on.
Okay, that part.
Hello. Okay. You see it. We get it. And after a minute, it was like my executive coach is telling me like, you're hurting yourself. My therapist is telling me, you're hurting yourself. My doctor is telling me like, oh yeah, the reason why you're literally falling apart and can't explain it, like stress is killing you and it's gonna wear your body down until you literally die, so stop. And I had to really sit and be like, whoa, like I'm literally killing myself, and at the end of the day, I'm still not coming away with enough for me? That's crazy.
Right.
And so I had to sit down and figure out like, ooh, what does it look like to give myself permission to like get what I need in a different way, and sit with that. And my coach was like, yeah, you got to have a conversation. Like you have to have a really intentional, specific, literal conversation, and learn what it feels like to actively do that, outside of like the conversations I have with you in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, these motherfuckers, I'm not. Like, me off, now it's man. Like, no, like turn the camera on and say it. And I did that a couple of weeks ago with one of the roles that I was taking on after eliminating every single thing else in my life and reducing this one role down. So I'm literally right now, like, I'm working at 60% capacity.
Yeah.
And I was working at like 140. So different. And I'm gonna figure out what it looks like, because I have no clue yet, but I'm giving myself the space to say like, you're actually super qualified to do that.
Yeah.
Every time that this has happened to you, because part of this has been embracing the fact that this is not new. I've had to pivot. So what does it look like now to like keep pivoting, but do so with the awareness of like, this pivot serves me.
Yeah.
Which lets me do the things that I'm here for.
Yes.
And that I want to do. And these plans and dreams and things that I've been spending all this time putting like vision and soul and heart into, like, okay, you want to make it real? Like, you got to sustain yourself for that. So it has been a journey to like give myself that permission and then like stand on it to be like, go fight for that.
Yeah.
And people have responded. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, my job was like, well, we're here for whatever you can give us now that you called us out on that, actually. So that actually totally works for us. You, as long as you're giving your best at whatever percentage you're giving, we are here for you. Take it. So I'm like, bet, we can do that right now. And like in the same week that I was standing on that, a different opportunity came up that was like, hey, remember how brilliant you were when you did this thing for us a couple years ago? Could you spin the block real quick? Mm-hmm. And do so in such a way that like, congratulations, your mortgage for next month is already paid for because you did it. Like,
dog.
Woo.
And Sterling is a beast. I don't think y'all understand. He has hosted and organized some of the largest Black male educator conferences that anybody has seen. If you are anybody in education, you know Sterling's name. I don't care what anybody says. Oh my God, Sterling. And Sterling act like all his other friends are celebrities. Nigga, you a whole celebrity. He be pissing me off on the low. You gonna embrace it now. I am blessed with
a robust network of people. The modest. So I will totally claim the superpower of like, I know the person who knows the person. I feel like I can at least claim that. A lot of times, more times now, I'm embracing the idea that I probably do know a person or two.
Okay, you know the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon? It's the 3 degrees of Sterling Grimes. He wants to be so modest so bad.
I mean, I would entertain people playing that game and seeing what they came up with.
Honestly, I'd be here for that too. Let's make that a thing.
Because I can get some places.
Oh, absolutely.
I can get you some places too. Like,
because Sterling be like, oh, I know a person.
If you go back in like my old social media, like old Facebook, you'll see me doing a couple of things back in the day. They're like, you know her? You shook his hand? Yeah. No biggie, that. You know.
And so, Sterling, one thing I know to be true about you is you imagine such a ideal world. And like so much of like, I love to see the friends who are going to go to this thing and be able to do this. And I imagine like, oh, I cannot wait till we're old and we're just sitting there and we're drinking and we're having a good time on the porch and everything. And so like, I see you imagine so much, and I'm so happy to hear like you really taking the front seat of your own life in this era of time. And so one of those lofty imaginations, what is the next thing you're gonna do for yourself?
For me, personal me?
That you want ideally to happen within the next month.
I think I need to put this next iteration on paper.
Ooh.
I do. I spend all my time in the clouds in my head. Honestly, I really do. And then I've built a whole life around like my job being anchoring everything to the earth and what does it look like to build tethers. And so I'm excited now that I've like given myself a little bit more slack to be like, think a little higher. People push me to be like, oh no, you're not charging enough for your worth. So that's on you. So bring that up.
You gotta think big, bitch.
Right.
Big.
And helping me negotiate the idea of like, no. Like, you're not gaining anything, and you're no better off on any level, you know, personal, financial, moral, whatever, by just like being cool about it. Like, no, I'm better than that. Right. Flat out. Pay me.
Throw me my check.
Okay, for my value. I'm not looking to be out here gouging anything. Like, y'all know, please, I want to pay my bills. I want to buy my good cheese.
Okay.
And I want to, like, take a flight every once in a while. That's literally
he loves
it.
Grapes.
Like,
cheese and grapes. One thing about Sterling.
I haven't had a good grape in so long.
Bro,
I need to go to
I was thinking about that
farm.
The mandarin cake.
I knew he was going to ask
every time.
Cake.
Okay, so he does a great, like, mandarin cake. The other thing he does is this it's like the most refreshing cocktail. He does like a watermelon puree with a little bit of mint, and then is it vodka or tequila?
Usually it's tequila.
Yeah. It's a fun little situation. I ain't gonna tell us the secret place, but it's like one of my favorite things to do and like look over the city and like just chill out and just have a good time just to talk and reflect. So Sterling, I keep saying it, but like you are definitely more than enough. Definitely keep like fighting on your worth this time around, and just know like when you're not thinking big enough, I'm gonna be in the back of your mind. Think big, bitch, every single time. I'm Sterling's bully friend. I ain't gonna lie. I bully him sometimes. I love you. It's all petty with a purpose.
He says he's my bully friend. Like I'm the only person that.
I don't know what he's talking about. I don't bully anybody else.
Let's keep it a bean.
We're gonna keep it a bean. Okay. Yeah, I'm a little. Wow.
production is.
Wow, this is
Okay,
crazy.
this is actually
This is
wild.
gonna lie.
Okay. Which is actually
Why,
crazy.
like I thought we were in the era of truth telling.
On keeping it a bean.
Like,
Okay. I bully y'all into your success. Okay, you're welcome. So you should be saying thank you.
Kamala walked and is now running so that we could tell the truth. And you sit on this stage and lie. No. I'm kidding.
All right, yeah, I might have got on this stage and lied a little bit. Yeah, I bullied some people. I might be territorial around Sterling. So most of his friends, do I start off having beef with them? Maybe.
Strong rivalries.
Strong rivalries is the best way to put it. They are my arch nemesis. Nemesis.
Nemesis. Like, it's multiple nemesis
However you say it.
in the space, and it's very much on site.
Every single time. Because I'm like, why you want to beef with me? I want to be the victim so bad every time. It be me some days.
But watch the gaslighting. Now he's secretly like creating new experiences with these people that he had this whole like nemesis thing with, and now I catch them on the Insta. Who's that in the background of your car? And who is that in a different picture wearing different clothes, as in y'all were doing this shit on multiple days?
He said, when this happened?
Because I could have swore this was about me. But
So I said, I'm the connector. What are you talking about?
okay, I'm the Velma of this bitch. Like,
Well, your glasses weren't on that day.
Jinkies. Jinkies.
Yeah, it's right. Fuck.
All right, Scooby-Doo.
Anyways, a dog. Call me a dog, bitch. I like to think I'm the Shaggy of the group, okay? Like Zoink.
G-Man. All right. No more Scooby snacks before
No more
taping,
Scooby
'cause the girls gets a little silly.
Oh, I do have something for you to try later. I have a little situation.
Okay.
Yeah. Eating hoagies.
Okay.
Yeah. That 70s show?
I'm not.
Oh, forget it. You didn't get the reference.
It's the. Okay, so we got
Well,
my
okay,
humor.
so-
My humor strand is very specific.
Yeah. I was gonna say there's a little.
I don't think it's not. I don't think it's like not funny.
Like
It's
I'm
not
not
funny
like
to
a big.
me.
I'm not like the biggest fan of the show, right? Like I know that reference, so I was just like, maybe you'll catch this one. But I also recognize our references may be just a little different every once in a while.
Guarantee I won't lose it again. I'm going home to be like, okay, that 70 show. Hoagie.
show hoagie.
Because if they throw this motherfucker up again, oop. Promise, you might get me down once. You're not gonna catch me a second
Never
time.
again.
So,
Oh, and on that note, one more time, thank you so much for coming on the show, Sterling. You are one of the brightest lights that I know. I love you so fucking dearly. You are one of my best friends. Thank you. And I keep saying, but I don't think I tell you enough. Like, thank you for making my transition into Philly one of the best experiences possible. So, love you, twin.
you fell into it. I fell into it. And we're doing it together. Like that's what I'm finding. So
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about it all the time. Like it turns on itself. So
Yeah, it's such a reciprocal thing too. Like I think that's probably like the coolest part of like our friendship, right? Like so much of it is like, oh, each one teach one. There are days where I'm just like, I have no idea what to do next. And he just hears me bitch and bitch and bitch.
And I'm like, bitch, me neither. But
Okay, but we gonna make it happen. Did you try this thing? So yeah, no, thank you for always imparting your wisdom. Thank you for bringing me into spaces. I don't know if I would have stayed in education as long as I did if it wasn't for you. And just like listening to like them chaotic days when I came back, I was just like, yo, this is a lot. So I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming on the show.
I love you. Thanks for having me. Let's do this again on education because that's a whole different ball game.
dog.
And I've got
Things
hours.
to say. Don't worry. Okay, I'll tell you about it once this camera is done. Sterling, if you want the people to know, where can they find you across the social medias?
all right, I'm getting back on, I guess.
Don't sound so enthusiastic.
I've been in my quiet era, kind of get myself together, but I think the people could enjoy a little bit of me, just a little bit. Instagram, you can find me at SterlyG, STERLYG. Twitter, Sterly_G.
Oh, he's fancy.
Because I can't get that man to give me my name, but I'm not interested in the fight. So we're gonna see. Maybe we flip it the other way, and maybe Instagram follows Twitter. Who knows? But maybe we tear the whole thing down and start over because
that's going somewhere.
it's the era of new things on top. So
Forget it.
but not tops. Next time.
Gay shit.
Is I was going sliding there.
That's a little so.
sweet.
Ooh, that's
All right,
crazy.
all right,
Not
all right.
then.
Time
All
to-
right, wrap it up. But that don't work either. Well, yeah, wrap it up. Okay, great job. On that note, thank y'all for another
Keep
one.
going. Keep going.
Thank you.
The whole just gets deeper and deeper after
So
when
real.
we're done now.
Production, can we just bring the lights down, please? Let's just do like a soft fade out and
Keep it
call
a bean
it.
after dark.
Jinkies.
Not jinkies.
Okay, all right, I'm done.
All right, yo. Thank y'all for another episode of Keeping It a Bean. Y'all are wonderful. Make sure you tap in, hit that like, subscribe button. Also hit that notification bell if you're watching on the YouTube. If not, please make sure that you leave a positive rate and review on the podcast if you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Peace. Cool. We're good.
Nice. Good work.
Golly.